how many bedrooms for that one, right?
No, it has nothing to do with the bedrooms. It has a lot to do with the central heating air. It has a lot to do with whether or not you have a dryer, you have a washing machine, you have an AC. All of those pull a lot of current. So you have to have enough amperage that's in the house that's going to suffice with that. Now, when we first bought this house, they didn't have anything on the floors. It just had concrete floors. The people were staying in it with just concrete floors. So this is one of the houses that one of the lenders had, and the person was not paying the lender. So the lender, they haven't paid the lender in almost a year. So the lender got tired of it and said, hey, you know what? I went out of it. Do you want the house, Jeremiah? I said, yes. So I bought the house for $60 when I got in here. But before we got the people out of here, they called the code enforcement. Everybody know what the code enforcement is, the people that come out for violations, where they had busted holes in the walls, took all the carpet up. They had a dog that was staying in here, all kind of sorts of stuff they had did. And so right now I'm still up under those violations that I have to do. So instead of me really coming into this house trying to just do what I really want to do with it, I'm actually fixing the house up just to get past these violations so I could call in the inspection and they'll see that the violations have been done, and then they moved out the way. So sometimes you have to make sure that you know if some of these houses have violations. Go ahead and attend to that violation, call the inspector, have them come out and see that it's done, and get them on out the way, because you don't want them just hanging around your house, because they'll be trying to find something else that they can get you on. So it's very important that we identify with that. So anybody have any questions about the kitchen?
Yes. One thing that I wanted to add in, something Jeremiah was saying earlier. He was saying that he started on the inside of the house. That's one thing that I like to do personally is I like to start remodeling the inside. A lot of times when you buy these properties, the outside is, for the most part, is pretty much going to be pretty basic. You're going to have what you're going to have. If it's brick, stucco, or whatever, you may gonna give it a face look, maybe do some stucco. But a lot of times when you start on the outside of the property, you oftentimes could draw a lot of attention, because people pass by, they're like, oh, they painting, oh, they don't put a new door up, they must be in there remodeling. But if you kind of keep it looking old on the outside and don't have much going on, then people tend not to pay attention or not even notice the property. They probably may still think it's abandoned, and you can go in there and you can fix up the inside, pretty much how you want to, or do whatever, and not draw a lot of attention to the house until you're actually ready to get to the exterior. So that's just one thing that I recommend, is starting on the inside first, because that's where a lot of your costs going to be at anyway, for your plumbing, your electrical, all those type of things. The only major thing you'll have on the outside is your roof area. One other thing too I wanted to point out, when Mr. Jackson was talking about the crown molding, I know a lot of people sometimes, even for your own personal house, you may want to do crown molding. You're like, man, I don't know how to cut this stuff. I don't have all this money. But actually, if you take a look at these little blocks right here in the corner, you can actually buy these blocks right off of Amazon, Lowe's, Home Depot, and you just put this little block up in the corner, and then you just tack the crown molding up, so you don't have to actually make any cuts to it. So you actually can add crown molding to your house without having to make any cuts or do any of that fancy stuff. And that way, you can upgrade your house and keep the cost down, because these people like to charge a lot of money, when they come in and actually install crown molding. So that's a nice upgraded feature that you can do and save yourself a lot of money by buying some of these little blocks. They usually run about $6, $7, $8 a piece. And if you look on Amazon again, you can buy sets of them and get a great deal on it.
Also to you guys, I want to let you guys, everybody take a look up at the ceilings. What do you guys see up here? This is what you call a knockdown texture. We actually have a guy that's on our sheet that actually comes out with his rig, and they shoot all the texture on your walls. Basically, these walls was already done, but they had a roof problem here. And as you can see, the little section right here had to be redone over here, as you guys can see. So they had to come out and to knock down on the ceiling. But one of the things I really want to stress about the ceiling is that everybody know that the paint has really gone up high. Just for a 5-gallon bucket of white semi-gloss paint is $179. So what you have to do now to cut your costs is that what most people are doing right now is that do what the new construction people are doing. They come into the house, they use the Kills 2. And that's all that's on the top, it's Kills 2. It's just as white. It costs $76 a 5-gallon bucket. So that's all you see on top of all my ceilings. I did what the new construction people do. They don't come there and put semi-gloss as if they stay in there. They just prime the ceilings and they stay nice, pretty, and white. These have been primed, $76 versus $176. So that's some good information there because a lot of people going out, this paint is very expensive, so you got to know when to cut and when not to cut. Anybody else have any information about the kitchen that this is y'all kitchen, this is y'all house. If y'all not doing it, what would y'all do? I want to hear from you because this is how we're going to learn.
So the first thing I notice when I come in is not necessarily everything else. I love clean cut lines from the baseboards and the paint that's on the walls. I think that draws a lot of buyers and a lot of renters' attention to it. And you've got the same floor that goes out throughout the entire house.
Right.
Now, I know you got a chandelier that's going in here, but
got a nice light coming in here too.
Okay.
Because you can't come very elegant and then all of a sudden you hit me with this. You know, either you're going to be elegant and stay that way throughout the whole thing because this is something you can just pick up from anything. Now, if I just was renting a house out, all this would have stayed. The cabinet wouldn't be, they'd be the same color. Countertop would still be the same. I'd just be coming there, put some carpet, put some linoleum down, and I can get out here. That's the difference. But you have to remember, we selling this house. You got to give a person something to see. These countertops, like Brian was saying, why pull all this out? And you have to pay somebody $500 or $600. Just call the guy out. He comes and spray the whole countertops for $200. Bam, it's done. He'll make it any color you want. He'll make them black, which he thought I told him to make the countertops the same colors he had did in one of my last houses. So he put the wrong color on it. So he's coming out. These countertops will be black with the silver speckles with the white all on top of it because the cabinet's gonna be white. Because I want this house to have gray, white, and black. And that's kind of like a little bringing everything together. Question?
Yeah, so when he did this, is he gonna come back and redo
Yes,
this and
yes.
redo this part here? Okay.
Those are the things that when he came out that I had to call him back and say, oh, no, can't do it like
So you
that.
said that you are painting the cabinets white.
Yeah, the cabinet will be painted white. So first thing I'm gonna do is take down all the doors, undo all the doors, put all the doors down, I paint them separately, then I come and just paint.
So are you using like oil-based paint?
No, I'm just gonna use just a regular semi-gloss white.
Okay.
Or you can use a semi-gloss a regular satin finish. It all depends on what kind of finish that you really want. But just make sure that since they got now, because I just talked to my sister and them, and their cabinets came out one coat. You may not think that this don't work, but when you wipe everything down really good and let it sit for an hour, when you put that coat on there, you don't have to come back with a second coat.
And if
It's
you've ever
miracles.
if you've ever painted cabinets or furniture before, we used to have to do the sand. We wash it down.
That's right.
We sand.
You gotta do that no
We've
more.
been painting. We sand again for the next coat. This stuff is like a liquid
Miracle.
sandpaper, whatever.
I call
It
it
just
miracle.
wipe it all. You put your time on that, and then you easy paint job.
Right. And they do have special
Look one here.
paints that are made just for cabinets. And they're, I think Behr has one, and any of the major paint companies, they do have some specialty paints for cabinets if you, especially if you maybe say like doing your own personal property. And they're a little bit more what they call scuff resistance, so they don't tend to get dirty. They don't hold fingerprints, those type of things. They also, if you happen to, maybe like nick it or something like that with some of the maybe traditional paint, you may see a little chip or something like that, and then you got to kind of keep touching it up. But with the paints that are designed, especially for the cabinets, they're a little tougher. They're a lot more durable, and they resist, fingerprints, scuff, and all the little dirt marks, hand marks, all that type of stuff. Especially if you're going with a light color, like white. So
I think they're a
just
little
want to add
thicker
that
too.
in.
The paint is a little thicker.
Yes.
It's a little thicker.
And course more expensive, but it's thicker.
Now, a couple more flaws that I have to deal with in the kitchen that you guys gonna almost deal with. As you can see these cabinets, would you pull these cabinets out because of that? Now, she said that she'll pull them out. And you know, they sell just regular 1/4 inch sanded plywood. I'm just gonna cut this shape, move this thing, and just move it right to that side and paint it right with that. That saves the cabinet. This is some of the things you're gonna find. What happened right here?
Drip.
The plumbing had dripped down. So would you take the cabinets out and throw it away because of that? When you could just cut that piece out, put the wood in there and paint it and done. So these are the things that you are gonna meet when you get these cabinets, because some people say, I don't wanna fool up with that. But these can be, it's nothing wrong with these nice aesthetic oak cabinets that's up here. Okay, and as you can see right here, this range hook gonna change. Of course, somebody said, well, you can just keep it and just spray it with spray paint. No, just get a range. You go on Facebook app, they have them like $20. Somebody's selling one, or you go to Home Depot, they $55. I know the price of everything. Once the countertop get here, one of the students was asking, do I put a range hood here? A microwave here. This is not for a microwave. Anytime that you have a sink, you're always supposed to have enough room where you can have movement in between here. Now on these walls, I'm going to put the backsplash tile that's going to go up on the wall here. It's going to be nice going around here, coming around here. All it's going to be having. But I don't want to identify this yet until I get my countertop in. Then I can have a better visual of what's going on. As you guys can see, this is one of the bedrooms here. As you come down, this is a large bedroom that's in the front. I want you to remember this is the closet for the bedroom here. But this house, this is the closet for the bedroom here. But this is going to actually change some of the house, which towards the end, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do. Because as you can see, it used to be like a living room area, a family room area, because it has a laundry room right here to the side right here. So that's how they was utilizing with the washer and dryer. But as you can see, this is going to change up, because what my plans are is, see the light switch that's right here? My plans is to put a wall here and come straight to here. This will remain open. I will then walk down, turn this way, and go to that bedroom. But all of this right here, just gonna close up. All this right here is bedroom. The door either be here, open up, I come into the bedroom. I got a whole big bedroom with the closet here. Because if we go in the back bedroom, you'll find out you have to go through a bathroom to get to the bedroom. That can't happen. So I'm just going to make a hall here. When you come out of the kitchen, go through the hallway. And when I go through the hallway, also going to be a door here where I can open up and come to the laundry room. Remember, this is going to close up in the bedroom, because that's the closet over there. Everybody can see that? See how we change that? So sometimes when you're coming into a house, you can define some more rooms, because we already got a living room. So you out for the bedrooms, because the bedrooms was actually going to give you your money. Because you don't want a 2-bedroom house when you can. There's too much room to get another bedroom. Close this off, put a hall here, put a door here, the laundry room. Define it already. Because a lot of people say, well, I need my laundry room. Well, you still got it. But now you're going to come through a hallway. Questions?
So is that going to be like a double stack laundry because of how the space is?
No, you got wash and dry hookups. You got wash, but all this will be moved over here.
Oh,
You got the dryer. Here's the dryer over
It
there.
just looking
to
tight,
wash.
like if you walking this way, that's all.
Yeah, no, it's gonna, it all is sitting there.
Okay.
When you put them sideways, you still got room to walk. Yeah, this is almost 4 foot wide. Yep. Any other questions in this bedroom? This is very important, because this is some of the stuff that you guys are going to meet. Because you guys going to see the ceiling fan going to change. This was up there. All the stuff. Don't try to save this kind of stuff and say you can save it and sell it. That need to come down, put a nice light. As you can see, I wouldn't dare put a ceiling fan here. Why? Because the ceiling, anytime you take your hands, it's almost touch the ceiling. You don't supposed to really have a ceiling fan. Because some child, somebody can put their hands up there, they can hit it. So you want to definitely don't put a ceiling fan in. Just put a nice 2-pipe light that's in here. As you can see, we're doing all the window seals. This house still had the crown molding going throughout the whole thing. Now, one of the things that I'm challenged with is that all the plugs in here is this color. I mean, all of them. Now, I have a choice to go through here and take out all the plugs. Now, because it's me, y'all, now y'all can do whatever you want to do. I know some people, like my sister husband, he's very tedious on the small things. I mean, some people are like that because he's like that. He would take out, what I did was, all my covers, before I take off the cover, I paint them white. So when I take the cover off, the plug is already white. All I do is put my cover on. Some people say I'm going to changing all the plugs throughout the house. That's money. That's time. For something that simple, if it's white, I put the cover over it, I'm done and I'm gone. See how quick I did that? Because see, time is of the essence when you're in these houses, because you have to know that I bought this house, but I'm not trying to stay in here. Because remember, when I do your plans, I usually allocate so many months for payments, and you got to make sure that this house is almost done and finished, unless you're going to then start coming out your own pocket for payments.
I have a question about this. Are you gonna take that wood out and then put little racks
Yes.
there?
All this is changing right here. That's
And
it.
put
That's
lights in
what.
there? Yeah.
Yes, the light gonna be in here. So basically, we're in here. That's why you don't see anything being done in here yet, because all this here had to really come up. Like I was telling you, certain stuff on this particular house, I'm just getting past that code enforcement, so I can get them in here and get them out the way. So once we get them out the way, then we can keep moving. Okay.
So just making sure I heard you correct. You just replacing the cover. You went on and painted it so you can go back with a white cover.
Yes. So the front of the plug is already there. Now, now if you was doing HUD and renting a property, you couldn't keep that painted cover on there. Then you can, now the cover of the plug, they would never know it was white, but the cover you would have to change it, because up under the rules that you can't have a painted cover with somebody actually painted. You have to have another cover. They'll tell you because they be thinking some paints can be flammable, they can catch a fire and stuff like that. So I usually just change the covers. Remember, there will not be a door here. This will be framed, and a door will be put here to open up to come into this room. So this room, so majority, or I may put the door here and let it open up, and then the back of the wall. So if somebody put their bed here, you should have said they got a full wall. So when you're doing these things, you have to think in terms of where would somebody put their bed. All of that comes into play when you try to change and take some of the room out. Because we don't need a real big room right here where you can, I need this bedroom back here in the back, more important, to take a look at this room. Any questions before we get out of this room?
No. One thing I President pointed out about the ceiling height for a fan. Now, if you know, just feel like you really need a fan in the area and you're dealing with the low ceiling, they actually have some of the enclosed fans now, where the you don't have access to the blades, and they're kind of made for low ceilings or low profile ceilings. They come down as, you know, maybe just a little farther, about the same height as a light fixture, but the blades are actually enclosed. So that way you don't have to worry about a situation like that, and you can still enjoy the benefits of having a fan as well.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and try to go to the next part of the house. As we go through the house, we're gonna come into the next bedroom right here. We have a bedroom here, back in the back. As you can see, it's a nice sized bedroom. But now in this bedroom, everybody have to know that it does not have a light in the ceiling. Nobody don't see any lights in the ceiling. You guys can come on in. It's not a light in the ceiling. All the lights in this house is right here, where you cut them on and off. So it's not that you have to have somebody change and put this into the ceiling. That's just your preference. But most of the time when you have flat roof on a roof, they have to put these on the wall. So of course all this is going to change and put a nice sconce light right on the side here. And as you can see, this is a nice big closet that we're working in. We fixing the ceiling. Some of this right here came down. It's got to just go back up and tack up and seal everything. And we put nice doors on it. As you can see, we tiled the floors in here. None of these floors was tiled. As we come in here, we're going to replace the hall light here, but just make sure you be very cautious on the size light that you put in here, because the ceiling is low. As you come into the next bedroom here, as you can see, everything just flows right with the same. This room is not as big as the other rooms, but it's a nice sized bedroom. As you can see again, we have the light on the side. And now as you can see right here in the hallway, this is the AC unit. It's very important. This house when I bought it already had a brand new hot water heater. Plus, one of the things that they do when you get ready to sell a house, they have what you call a home inspection. The first thing they want to do is see how old the hot water heater If the hot water heater is more than 10 years old, 9 out of 10, or added to it, Brian, they're gonna make you change it. And then the second thing, without Brian saying anything, what can somebody tell me with one of the students that's wrong with this hot water heater right by looking at it? What do y'all see what's wrong?
It's sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
It's sitting on the floor. You're not allowed to have a hot water heater sit on concrete floor. It must sit in a pan. So it's very important that those are the things. And also too, see the overflow that you have right here? An overflow always have to be hooked up. Sometimes they have an overflow where it goes on, hooked up and go to the outside of the house, but if it's not going to the outside, it's supposed to be at least hanging down 4 feet. That's code, okay? And you want to make sure that everything is sleeved. It's not just straight wire coming in where you can see the wire.
Good question. How do you check the age of the hot water heater?
Oh, it tells you on there. As you read all down here, it got a date on the hot water heater somewhere on one of these labels.
Okay.
It'll tell you. Now this is a no-no because when I get ready to have a home inspection, they're gonna say we don't want to see all this. So somehow they don't want to see no wire and all this thing got to be closed up inside here. So somehow so the only way I can do this is come what you call duct board. They have what you call a duct board. You can cut that and wedge it in here and tuck it under and tape everything all up. That's how I'm gonna have to do inside this closet because you're not allowed to have all this here open up. They want to have everything sealed and everything. And as you can see, this piece of wood right here, sometimes on some of the houses, if you see something like this behind the tub, that'll let you know that you can get to the fixture from the tub. If you ever have to change the tub fixtures out, like I had to do in there, and I didn't know that this was already there. I ain't have to bust into the wall because somebody else had already did the homework. I'm just gonna replace this and put something else there. I'm not gonna put this wood. I don't never use wood because of what? Termites. So if I'm gonna use it, they're gonna be concrete board.
So Mr. Jeremiah, in a place where like, let's say you get a property and you're just renting it
Okay.
for a tenant, would you put in access panels just in case you ever have to go back and replace a shower valve or anything?
Majority of them have an access valve if they was first put in this either, because most of the time when people put bathrooms, they usually have another bedroom behind it with a closet. And they usually be somewhere in there. So most of them already have access to get to them. If not, I just bust a hole out in the wall and just change it, but then I'm gonna put sheetrock back if it's in the open area.
And they actually sell a little, depending on where you location, they
the
sell
doors.
the little door boxes. That
Yeah,
are,
8x8 to the 14
yes.
by 14.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
access panel.
But if it's in an open area, you won't want to look at a box.
Yeah.
So once you change the fixtures, then you can just keep it moving. We're gonna go ahead and then go to the bathroom here. We're gonna let everybody come through to the next bedroom. As you can see, this was a bathroom that you have to go through a bathroom to get to the back bedroom. But we don't need that happen because this is the bathroom. We had the tub refinished. As everybody can see, the tub has been refinished.
Look like the same color.
I had all the tile changed to put on around the tub because everything in here was yellow. Yellow tile, yellow floors, everything that was in here. But I put the grays. And as everybody can see, I changed and put all new fixtures in the tub and everything because the shower head, everything supposed to mean something. And it's supposed to look like it's somebody paying $100 and some thousand for a house. They don't want a little $10 shower head. You could go a $10 shower head, but I wanted something big. So we still got to finish putting everything here. And as you can see up here, this is where the vanity, because this only takes like a 24-inch vanity, I made sure I got a real nice vanity that's going here with a nice faucet. I'm not going to put one of them little medicine cabinet up here. I'm going to what you call roses. Or we call it roses, or what do you call it? Is it roses? Roses there. And they sell like different mirrors and stuff. So I'm going to put a nice decorative mirror right up here and change this light fixture and put a real nice, the light fixture I'm putting up here is from Home Depot, and it's about $140. Now, how many people will put $140 lights? But I'm after a certain look. Because when somebody walk into my houses, that's what makes it sell. I stress that real highly. Now, right where Mariko's standing right here is the toilet. As you can know that you will never be able to come through here anymore because we're going to close this up. Because the toilet sits this way. See, but you shouldn't have to go around and come to a bedroom. So all this is going to change up here. As we come to the bedroom back here in the back, this is a large room. As you can see, this way the people came in and This is why I had the code enforcement people come back here, because as you can see, they was busting holes in the wall because they didn't want to leave. So when people don't want to leave, they get mad, they bust holes in the walls, the ceiling. As you can see out there, fix some of the ceilings. And as you can see, we had to come back and have the texture knocked back down on it. This is a closet. But now this is a fourth bedroom? Mm-hmm. The fourth bedroom. But this bedroom, see the closet that we have in here? This will not be a closet anymore. So this bedroom coming all the way back to here. But what I'm planning on doing is that I'm going to take from that wall out to about 7 feet and do a 7x7 with a door, and I'll put the bathroom here. I'm gonna have a shower, a vanity, and a toilet in here. Right here. And the reason why, what makes it easy to do is because this is the outside wall. The plumbing run around and tie right into the back. So I'm gonna put a bathroom here inside a bedroom and then right here, where Brian is standing right here, this will no longer, it'll be closed up, and this is gonna be the hallway here. This is too narrow, but I'm taking, it's gonna be 36 inches, it's gonna be coming up to here. So it's gonna be wide, coming straight. This going into that room. So you're ready to come down the hallway, straight in here to a door, open up and come into the room. You got your bathroom, you got your bedroom. Now you see how we pulled that out? Now the average person that had this house all this time, they still was coming through the bathroom. Which I couldn't understand. Why would I want to come to the bathroom? But, it rented out. People will still rent it out, and people will do that just to get that extra room. So these are the things that you want to actually look at when you do. As you can see, I did not put any tile on the floor back here. There's a reason why. Anybody can tell me?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to change it up and cut the floor, run the pipe and everything. Remember, but in order to get past some of the things on this house is that I'm completing the house, I have to then come in and put carpet in, because this was one of the code violations that the people say that the landlord never put carpet back here. But it was carpet back here.
So you can't put tile, you gotta put carpet.
No, I could put tile back here, but because I'm coming behind everything to put this bathroom, I didn't want to put the tile yet. So I already have carpet that finishes. I'm gonna put the carpet in here myself, just to get past the inspection. Once I get past my inspection, all that's over with, then I come in and do whatever, get everything that how I need to lay it out. Certain things, when you're dealing with the code enforcement people, if it's a busted window or whatever, get that out the way, get them out, inspect that, let them go on about their business. Don't just let them hang around, because there'll be something else they'll come and say, well, back on that door right there, we need that fix right there. Even though I'm gonna fix it, but they just added something else to it. And that's where they had a dog. The dog was chewing on the wood. I mean, it was all kind of crazy stuff that was actually going on.
Incense hanging out of the...
Incense, they had them stuck all in the walls. And it was almost about to catch the house on fire. Yeah, just crazy stuff. If y'all would have just saw it at the beginning. But this is a room. Any questions or anybody that understand how we was doing the layout? Okay.
So you mentioned dogs.
Okay.
So how does that work? Can you choose as the owner to say no dogs, no pets?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Especially if you was buying the house
Right.
for renting.
Okay.
What you said?
Yeah, you make your own rules.
Oh, okay.
And then just one thing about that, with property management, stick to it. No matter what they say, just go back to your contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you being mean or anything. Guys, when you signed up, it said no pets.
I guess do it matter if you're gonna sell it. If that person
Well,
who owned it.
her question was that if, I guess if she was looking for, she was going to get it to rent it.
Okay.
And when that's one of the things that we be dealing with her is that once we give her the lease, and she's seeing her lease that says no pets.
Oh, yeah.
So these are the things, when she read her own lease and see the things that you don't allow. Now you can allow pets, but you have to know that the insurance, when you get insurance on the house, most insurance don't allow you to have any animals unless you're gonna, cancel your own policy if something happened to liability. Somebody bites somebody, you have to remember it happened on your property. You can say, well, the tenant dog, it doesn't matter. Where did it happen? And just like if you crossed and you tore something at the mall, it doesn't matter did I just accidentally happen, but where did it happen at? That's the person has to write it up because they own the land. So it's very important that you have those. I don't allow any animals. I don't even think that he even allowed in there, I don't know what the
He
people.
did it, but they brought him in.
But they brought them in anyway, and that's why you have to have your routine inspections of your houses and everything. Because sometimes when you bring them dogs in there, as you can see before I even get done, I got the bleach. I already bleached it one time, but I got the bleach in here again. I wiped all the walls down with bleach before we paint them, but it's still, I want to make sure that smell is out of here, because sometimes a dog smell a hole.
Now, one thing I've done before too is once you bleach it down or whatever, if it's really bad, like you can see the spots, whatever, I then put kills on the floor.
Oh
I
yeah, you
paint-
ain't think about that.
Yeah, paint it up, knock the odor right. It's
That's
gone.
a great idea.
They also have some certain type of pet disinfecting stuff at like the pet stores that are made especially, you know, for dog urinations and things of that nature. If you check at any pet store, probably even Walmart should have something that's specially made for certain type of scents and things like that. So.
Yeah, but just always remember, anything that's gonna cost you the least amount, let's try to get that, because that's something that's not really budgeted into this right here. So, any questions so far from anybody dealing with anything so far dealing with the house? This is the time. If you was out doing this at house, this is the time that this is what you'll be looking at.
So
This is what you have to deal with when you get a house, Kevin.
you're making this bathroom right here, so you're gonna cap off the waistline for the washer?
Yeah, the plumber will do all of that.
Oh, okay.
They'll remove all of that. That won't even be in the wall anymore.
And they got a separate line.
They're gonna run everything up under the ground now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, cut it and run it up under the ground and then come up. Yeah, so how it was in the wall, that'll be way over here in the laundry room. Mm-hmm.
That door, are you gonna keep it like that, or are you gonna have one of those doors where it has the big old window where they can see outside?
She's talking about French doors, no, we're not gonna.
Oh, no, that's gonna be the same door. I'm just gonna change all the wood on the side, gonna be redone.
Got it.
Cause not everybody like a glass in the
And
window.
it's a bedroom.
You know, cause it's a
And then there's that
bedroom.
window right
They'd
there.
be
yeah.
kinda fearful that somebody gonna be trying to look through the windows and doors and stuff.
Question is this the exit to the back?
Yes.
That's the exit to the back, yeah.
Okay, so this is the only exit
That's
to
the
the
only-
back.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
It's gonna be the emergency door in the room. That's why I'm putting the hall. You come in the bedroom. As long as you got a back door, you have to have a back
Okay.
door to the house.
Actually, you don't have to have a back door. It's not required to actually have a back door, but you must have what a window or what they or egress as they call it, and you have to have a certain amount. But as long as you have windows where there's an access to escape in the case of emergency or fire, so you must have that inside of the bed, inside of the house. So you actually don't have to have a physical back door, but just a way to escape.
Okay, also too, I want to make sure that everybody get a peep inside this closet here. You know, a lot of people in some of the houses, as you can see the metal, it's not always that you have to use wood. In this house, somebody built this whole closet as if it was commercial. If you ever see this right here, everybody can see that it moves. These are commercial walls that you can take down at any time. You just screw your sheetrock right onto the metal. So if you ever see this right here, just know that this is commercial and it's easy for me to take it down. Everybody get a peek at that because you're gonna see it again. And as you can see, we actually coming on the outside of the house. As we all come on the exterior of the house, we're gonna go ahead and do this right quick for the sake of time. As you can see on the ground down as they're stepping out, you would never want to step out on a piece of wood. All this has to change down here. So we just gonna frame it up like a square and pour the concrete, like you have a concrete slab. Just remember that if you have more than 2 steps, you have to have a handrail. So if it's more than 2 now, you have a handrail. We're gonna pour a slab right here. This is one of the things that was up under the code enforcement thing, is that they saw mildew on all this here. And everybody can see the mildew. So that's one of the things. I'm gonna be painting the house. I'm gonna pressure wash it with bleach. And everybody can see up here, the eave drips. You have to get something, get on a ladder and just get one of the scooping shovels and scoop all the dirt from out of it. And when you pressure wash the house, just pressure wash everything. This gutter right here slide back into the other. It just slid down. Because I don't know why they would have the water just come straight down here. That's the reason why you had the mildew that was down here. And as you can see, it has concrete siding here. That's concrete siding that's on here. I'm letting all that stay. Now as you come around on the side, as you can see, I had a choice to make the other day whether or not to take all of this wood down, because I don't like wood. So I had to make a choice the other day whether or not to keep the siding that's on the side and let it all be concrete, because I usually take all the strips, all these strips up by 1 by 2 strips. I could have taken all these out and just screwed the concrete to the wall here, and I don't have any wood. But this is one time that I'm letting this stay. And the only reason why I'm letting this stay because when I went to Home Depot, one sheet of that concrete board have gone up to almost $60. When all I had to do was do what I'm doing right now, scraping all the wood, replacing all the bad. I'm gonna come back and caulk everything in. When I get done with this side, it'll be nice and pretty. It didn't even cost me anything, not but a couple of pieces of wood. So it's not always that you have to come and tear everything off the house, because you have to look at the price too. This would have cost me almost $700 just to come here and just do from here to there. So, I mean, it cost me not but what, $50, you know, just get the caulk, the wood, and come in here and scrape and everything. And as everybody can see on top of the roof, this is what you could consider as a flat roof. It has somewhat of a tilt to it, but this house right here been totally had a roof put on it. Because the last time this house had a roof put on it was almost 18 or 20 years ago. So if I know I'm going to sell, let's say, a house here, it's very important that you know it has a good roof, wells, plumbing, electrical, and AC. Because these are the things, all you have to do on some of these things is ask yourself, would you buy a house that has an old roof? Some of the questions we get, would you buy a house with a bad AC or old AC? These are the things that you have to ask yourself, and you can see this exterior part of the house right here going to be gray. It's going to have the white trimmings. As you guys can see, some of the rock wood here that's up here, this is stuff that you can physically see. You don't just caulk this. We have to take all this here off and repair it with hardwood. Now, caulk can hide a lot of stuff, but when you have what you call a WDO and they come out and do a home inspection, they have something that they actually can hit that wood to tell you whether or not, if it's still wood, or whether or not you filled it in with caulk. Rich, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, they come around with a little probe, and it may look great, but when they probe it or push on it, it's soft.
It's soft.
So that's a hit. One other thing, if you would speak to when you're going out looking at houses, especially like Kendall that's getting started, look at your windows too, because that's a big cost. If had, the old wooden windows or whatever.
Yeah, because see, like I was saying here, you have the double insulated white windows. They're not single pane. So these windows already was changed out. But if you have those wind out windows, you just have to know that most of those windows like that need to be changed out. I don't care, even if you was going to rent the house out, you don't want to have those windows wind out or the jealous windows in there, because the average renter going to complain about their light bill. And if you sell a house, nobody's going to buy a house that has those types of windows, because as you can, Brian, I tell you, that big house that we doing out there, his, Brian, you want to enlighten them about the windows? Because remember the last time we was in that house and I was telling about all the changes that he was making, I was saying, okay, hold up, because you got to deal with some of the major things in here. I think those windows cost you, what, over $5,000?
Yes, it was
$5,000 just for windows.
over 20 windows in that house. So that's a lot of windows for one house, more than the average, normal windows inside of a house. So, again, doing your budget and knowing the cost of products and materials, it's very important just to, if you're in Home Depot, even if you ain't shopping, just look at the cost of things, faucets, windows, doors, because sometimes things can double or triple in price. Where recently we just had the materials for lumber, where everything literally tripled in price. 2x4s are $8. A sheet of plywood was double the price, triple the price. So, you have to always keep an eye on some of these things, because you may be getting ready to start a project, within, say within a month, and, you notice the prices are going up, but you're gonna need these materials. Maybe you might need to sacrifice and go ahead and get them now before that, boom or spike hits. So, that's just another part of being an investor, is also keeping yourself knowledge-wise, knowing what's going on. Same thing with copper, aluminum. When the price is up, guess what? If you gotta buy electrical wire, the electrical wire metal is up right now. So guess what? All electrical wires twice, 3 times the price of what it normally costs. So just keeping yourself abreast and staying knowledgeable as a real estate investor, not with just the house itself, but the materials that you need for the house.